Hi, I'm Sean from Studyclix.ie. We make exams easier. Today we're going through a Leaving Cert maths question. Subscribe to the channel for more videos that are going to help you with your exams, so let's get into it.
So in question 2, we're asked to solve this cubic equation, x cubed minus 3x squared minus 9x plus 11 is equal to 0. And we have to write any irrational solution in the form a plus b root c, where a, b and c are integers. So we're going to let f of x equal to 0 here. And what we're looking for is an x value we can plug in. So plug in for x. And this whole thing is just going to cancel out and equal to 0. So the best tip for questions like this where they give you a cubic is just start guessing numbers for x that'll cancel out. It's typically a number close to 0 and also something that won't be too difficult to use for the long division. So my first guesses would be just to start from 0, go to roughly 3, and if none of those numbers work, then maybe try some negative numbers like minus 1 or 2. And usually by then you're going to have found the first solution. So we can see that 0 doesn't work because we're left with this 11 at the end, so that's not equal to 0. So when we plug in 1, we can actually see that 1 cubed, which is just 1, minus 3 minus 9 will bring us down to minus 11, and then plus 11 is going to bring us back up to 0. So we actually have something here that's equal to 0. So our first solution is x is equal to 1. So that's a solution, but what we need for our long division is actually a factor. So our factor is equal to x minus 1. And that's because we've established that x minus 1 is in fact equal to 0. So now what we're going to do is divide our newfound factor into the original cubic in order to find a quadratic that we can then use the minus b formula on. Because there is no minus b formula for cubics, unfortunately. So we're going to go x into x cubed is equal to x squared. And multiplying x squared back times x and then times minus 1, we're going to get minus 2x squared as our next number that we're going to divide into. So x into minus 2x squared is going to give us minus 2x on top. And again multiplying that by x minus 1 and bringing down our 9x. Now we're left with a minus 11x. So x into minus 11x is going to give us minus 11. Again multiplying minus 11 by x minus 1 and bringing down our plus 11. We're going to see that everything cancels out nicely and we're left with a remainder of 0, which is obviously what you're always looking for here. So now we've got this nice quadratic that we can use the minus b formula on. So now we've got this nice little quadratic here that we can use the minus b formula on to find the remaining two solutions. So the minus b formula is actually not in your log tables, so you're going to have to learn this off. So there's the minus b formula. And just to give some context on it, this plus or minus is actually what's going to give us our two irrational solutions in the proper form. And it's actually also what leads to conjugates in imaginary numbers. So the only difference between the two is the fact that you're either adding or minusing the root of the negative number. And that's kind of a cool way to see the links between complex numbers and quadratics in general. So back to the question at hand. We're going to have to try and find what our a, b and c are. So a will always be the coefficient of x squared, which in this case is 1. B is going to be equal to minus 2, the coefficient of x, and c is going to be equal to the constant, which is minus 11. And we know we're looking for solutions for this quadratic equal to 0. So that's where the minus b formula comes in. And there's no point in the exam trying to, factorize this quadratic like you would any other quadratic you see, because they tell you that it's going to be irrational. So there's no point really messing around with any sort of factorization here. So after plugging everything into our minus b formula, we're going to get this big fraction, which will simplify to 2 plus or minus the root of 48 all over 2. So now to simplify it any further, we're going to be looking for a way to change this root 48 into something that's divisible by 2. So we're going to think of factors of 48 which have a square root, and the first one that jumps to mind is going to be root 16. So given root 16 and root 3, that's going to simplify to 4 root 3. So that's how you simplify it further. So now we've got a top line that's divisible by 2, is simply going to be 1 plus or minus 2 root 3. And as we can see, that's in the proper form, so we're happy with that. So now we've got our 3 solutions. We're just going to write them out to be very clear about what we're doing, and for getting out all our 3 solutions in the proper form and everything, you're going to get 25 marks. So that's it for this question. I hope you found the video helpful. If you're looking for other similar questions, there's going to be a link in the description, and also some links for notes as well in case you're kind of stuck on this topic. And yeah, I'll see you next time.